Hey Meta, welcome back to the channel. So, we talked about the 175% shield build in this video right here, but guess what? I'm back and managed to crank that thing up to 325%, which is roughly 13 bars of shield. Look, this build works with pretty much any weapon, so you don't have to run Abyss Glance. But since Abyss Glance has such good crowd control, I'm using it as the main gear for this video's demonstration. I've tested this 325% shield build in both the PHI Nightmare and Theta Nightmare silos, and the results were insane. First PHI Nightmare run, without the Starry Bubble Tea, I topped out at about 10 shield bars, or roughly 250% shield. I could clear the run in about 5 minutes. Second PHI Nightmare run, I tried it with the Starry Bubble Tea, and our shield actually broke through to 325%, that's 13 bars. Well, maybe the 13th bar wasn't totally full, around 310% or 315%. But hey, we're calling it 325% total shield anyway, or around having 47,500 plus shield. That shield comes from my 14,646 total HP multiplied by 325% total shield, which equals 47,599.5. Second run also took around 5 minutes, only about 20 seconds longer, which makes sense because when you use the Starry Bubble Tea, you gotta jump and glide around a bit to fill up that shield. The Theta Nightmare run didn't hit 325% shield, maybe because the deviants weren't as crowded and stacked up as in PHI. On top of that, there's Poison, which just keeps chipping away at your shield. I cleared it in 6 minutes. That's a bit slow for Abyss Glance, probably due to all the jumping around at the start, plus the mutation was making the enemies a little tankier. Quick reminder, 1 shield bar is 25% shield. For example, when you summon your deviant, you get 30% shield, which is 1 bar plus a tiny bit extra. When using the Starry Bubble Tea buff, you get 5% shield each second when gliding in the air, and this buff stacks up to a max of 2 shield bars, or 50% shield. And make sure you are not in combat while doing this. So yeah, 1 bar equals 25% shield. So, how did I get this total of 325% shield, or around 47,500 plus shield? What's the build? What food or drink buffs are we using? And what about the hide material? For the shield buff, there's only one, the Starry Bubble Tea drink buff. This gives you up to 50% extra shield when you glide in the air. You can get the recipe by opening the event tab, going to the redemption shop, then Visional Redemption, and at the very bottom, you'll see the red box, the Starfall recipe selection. The Starry Bubble Tea recipe is inside. When running a silo with this buff, make sure you glide until your shield is full. And of course, make sure you are not in combat while doing this. The armor is clearly the Savior set armor. When you wear 3 pieces of this armor, you get a total of 40% shield when hitting enemies. You get 5% shield per hit with a 0.5 second cooldown. Check this out. With the 50% shield from the Starry Bubble Tea buff, or about 2 full bars, when I hit this dummy, the total shield increases by 5% per hit up to a max of 40% shield. The final total ends up being 90% shield, almost 4 full bars. Next is the Rejuvenating Mod. When your shield is above 30%, defeating an enemy recovers 20% of your max HP. Since max HP is locked at 1% in this scenario, that recovery is instantly allocated to your active shield for 20 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. So, you get a total of 20% shield from this mod whenever you defeat an enemy while your shield is over 30%. I know that right now, defeating enemies while in the Lunar Oracle period also recovers HP, but in the silo, you're safe. It only recovers shield. Just as crucial is the hide material for your top and bottom armor. I'm running Lunar Deer Hide. Besides giving you plus 10 cold and frost resistance, it restores 5% shield when you defeat an enemy while your HP is below 30%. By combining the top and bottom pieces with Lunar Deer Hide, you get a total of 10% shield restore when defeating an enemy. The cooldown is 8 seconds. So, you absolutely must use this hide material on your top and bottom armor to maximize your shield output. The last piece is the Cradle skill, Deviant Energy Defense. When you summon your Deviant, you get a shield equal to 30% of your total HP, active for 30 seconds. This skill has a 30-second cooldown. If we add up all the static boosts, the total shield is only 150%. Wait a minute. How did we get to 325% then? Did I lie? The story of how we hit 325% shield, especially with the Starry bubble tea, involves hitting multiple enemies at once. This is why the Abyss Glance is so vital here. It's perfect for fighting huge crowds of deviants. The clearing process is much faster, and because the shield duration is relatively longer than the cooldowns, the shield just keeps stacking up. I've only managed to stack it up to 325% so far, about 13 bars or 47,500 shield. But that's still a massive amount. To maximize this, always make sure to summon your Deviant first before starting your attack, especially if you're not using the Starry bubble tea. That's because the effect from the Rejuvenating Mod won't activate unless your shield is already above 30%. With this method, plus the Starry bubble tea, and the fast clearing speed provided by the Abyss Glance gear, hitting 13 bars, or at least 10 bars of shield, becomes easy. I'll show the full build and gear breakdown at the end of the video later. And that's the 325% shield build. Remember, this can be used with almost any weapon type. If you're running a weapon damage build instead of an elemental damage build, you might want to consider adding stamina instead of shield recovery on your top or bottom hide material to maximize the effect of the mask hide. But overall, this build works well with lots of different weapon types. So, what about you? Have you tried this shield build, and how many shield bars have you managed to stack? As for damage, we didn't sacrifice anything. Especially when using Abyss Glance, even though we took our time and I didn't switch presets. Staying on normal elite from start to finish, we still cleared the silo nightmare pretty quickly. Don't sweat the damage output. Alright, that wraps up the discussion for this video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button. Or hit dislike twice if you want your fuse's success. Leave your comments about this build below and any questions you have about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a nice day and peace out.